Hello folks, getting back to my dwarf character today. Playing a little Dragon Age Inquisition this weekend. I started out the game last night with a Dwarf Warrior and ended with him landing in Haven. Now I'm going to continue. We're going to pick up our special armor later. For now, we're just going to go continue the story.
That's him. That's the Herald of Andraste. They said when he came out of the Fade, Andraste herself was watching over him.
That's him. He stopped the breach from getting any bigger.
I heard he was supposed to close it entirely.
Chancellor Roderick says that the Chantry wants nothing to do with us.
That isn't Chancellor Roderick's decision, sister.
Have you gone completely mad? He should be taken to Val Royo immediately, to be tried by whomever becomes.
Chain him! I want him prepared for travel to the capital for trial.
Disregard that, and leave us.
You walk a dangerous line, Seeker.
The breach is stable, but it is still a threat. I will not ignore it.
So I'm still a suspect, even after what we just did?
You absolutely are.
No, he is not.
Someone was behind the explosion at the Conclave. Someone most holy did not expect. Perhaps they died with the others, or have allies who yet live.
I am a suspect?
You, and many others.
But not the prisoner.
I heard the voices in the temple. The Divine called to him for help.
So his survival, that thing on his hand, all a coincidence?
Providence. The Maker sent him to us in our darkest hour.
5 minutes ago you wanted me dead, and now I'm your savior?
I was wrong. Perhaps I still am. I will not, however, pretend you were not exactly what we needed when we needed it.
The breach remains, and your mark is still our only hope of closing it.
This is not for you to decide.
You know what this is, Chancellor. A writ from the Divine, granting us the authority to act. As of this moment, I declare the Inquisition reborn. We will close the breach, we will find those responsible, and we will restore order with or without your approval.
This is the Divine's directive. Rebuild the Inquisition of old. Find those who will stand against the chaos. We aren't ready. We have no leader, no numbers. And now, no Chantry support.
But we have no choice. We must act now, with you at our side.
What is the Inquisition of old, exactly?
It preceded the Chantry. People who banded together to restore order in a world gone mad.
After, they laid down their banner and formed the Templar Order, but the Templars have lost their way. We need those who can do what must be done, united under a single banner once more.
But aren't you still part of the Chantry?
Is that what you see?
The Chantry will take time to find a new Divine. And then it will wait for her direction.
But we cannot wait. So many Grand Clerics died at the Conclave. No, we are on our own. Perhaps forever.
You're trying to start a holy war.
We are already at war. You are already involved. Its mark is upon you. As to whether the war is holy, that depends on what we discover.
What if I refuse?
You can go if you wish.
You should know that while some believe you chosen, many still think you guilty. The Inquisition can only protect you if you are with us.
We can also help you.
It will not be easy if you stay, but you cannot pretend this has not changed you.
When I woke up, I certainly didn't picture this outcome.
Neither did we.
Help us fix this before it's too late.
Shiny new armor. Okay, I've leveled up. I'm gonna wait to take care of that before. First, I want to go and go to the Chantry and get the story kicked off, and then the next thing to do is to do all the quests around Haven. That'll give us a level and give us some extra materials and stuff to work with. Maybe some new gear. First, we'll kick off the story, though.
Does it trouble you?
Not really.
What's important is that your mark is now stable, as is the breach. You've given us time, and Solas believes a second attempt might succeed, provided the mark has more power. The same level of power used to open the breach in the first place. That is not easy to come by.
What harm could there be in powering up something we barely understand?
Hold on to that sense of humor. May I present Commander Cullen, leader of the Inquisition's forces.
Such as they are. We lost many soldiers in the valley, and I fear many more before this is through.
This is Lady Josephine Montelier, our ambassador and chief diplomat.
I've heard much. It's a pleasure to meet you at last.
And of course, you know Sister Liliana.
My position here involves a degree of...
She is our spy master.
Yes, tactfully put, Cassandra.
That's an impressive bunch of titles.
I mentioned that your mark needs more power to close the breach for good.
Which means we must approach the rebel mages for help.
And I still disagree. The Templars could serve just as well.
We need power, Commander. Enough magic poured into that mark.
Might destroy us all. Templars could suppress the breach, weaken it, so...
Pure speculation.
I was a Templar. I know what they're capable of.
Unfortunately, neither group will even speak to us yet. The Chantry has denounced the Inquisition, and you specifically.
That didn't take long.
Shouldn't they be busy arguing over who's going to become divine?
Some are calling you, a dwarf, the Herald of Andraste. That frightens the Chantry. The remaining clerics have declared it blasphemy, and we, heretics, for harboring you.
Chancellor Roderick's doing, no doubt.
It limits our options. Approaching the mages or Templars for help is currently out of the question.
Just how am I the Herald of Andraste?
People saw what you did at the temple, how you stopped the breach from growing. They have also heard about the woman seen in the rift when we first found you. They believe that was Andraste.
Even if we tried to stop that view from spreading...
Which we have not.
The point is, everyone is talking about you.
It's quite the title, isn't it? How do you feel about that?
It's a little unsettling.
I'm sure the Chantry would agree.
People are desperate for a sign of hope. For some, you're that sign. And to others, a symbol of everything that's gone wrong.
So if I wasn't with the Inquisition...
Well, let's be honest, they would have censored us no matter what.
And you not being here isn't an option.
There is something you can do. A Chantry cleric by the name of Mother Giselle has asked to speak to you. She is not far, and knows those involved far better than I. Her assistance could be invaluable.
Why would someone from the Chantry help a declared heretic?
I understand she's a reasonable sort. Perhaps she does not agree with her sisters. You will find Mother Giselle tending to the wounded in the hinterlands near Redcliffe.
Look for other opportunities to expand the Inquisition's influence while you're there.
We need agents to extend our reach beyond this valley, and you're better suited than anyone to recruit them.
In the meantime, let's think of other options. I won't leave this all to the Herald.
My dwarf boy looks a little pudgy there in this armor. Gonna have to get him some new armor.
Have you kept in touch with our friends in Lady Esterly's estate? Several bards will play for her tomorrow night. We will have names soon enough.
So for starters, we're going to go to the hinterlands and get the horses, and that should give us enough power to continue and go on to Val Royeaux. But for now, I'm going to finish exploring Haven. There's a whole bunch of missions here. We can kick off some to get some gold. I want to start off Varric's missions here. Arden Hightown 3, Varric's Revenge. I'm going to send Liliana.
Let's see what we have.
Varric was addressing Liliana there, so might as well send her. And who else do we have here? Arctic gets its cut. I'm going to go ahead and read these. Sorry about that lyrium deal with the Conclave going sideways. When I said I expected the talks to blow up, that wasn't what I meant. At least you made it out of there in one piece. You always did have this strange luck. I'm not saying where I am now. Let's call it somewhere safe enough and leave with prying eyes guessing. The Dasher's looking for you. Well, for both of us, but mostly you. Angry as a drunk Bronto. He thinks you ran off with his lyrium, Salroka. And now you're hiding from the Carta behind a wall of Inquisition muscle. I'd be careful if I were you. We can't openly negotiate with the Carta, but we might get Orzamar's ambassador to do so on our behalf.
At your service.
To whom it concerns, the Terranir of Highever wishes to convey our deepest sympathies on the death of Divine Justinia V. Most Holy was incomparable in her wisdom and dedication to peace, and we have high hopes that her conclave would succeed. We hold a vigil in Highever in remembrance of Justinia and cordially invite the Inquisition to attend. We're going to send an honor guard to Highever.
To work?
And those are going to get us influence and maybe some money. There's a specific gather coin mission, but we're going to do that later. And that's about all there is to do here. Nothing going on in Orlais right now. And we don't have... we need to get some influence points before we can buy any of these Inquisition goodies. We're going to go for Deft Hands Fine Tools first, because that lets us unlock more stuff, which means more loot, more money, more goodies. And then after that, maybe we'll go for some of these buying perks. And the Inquisition stuff can come later. So I would take a moment to look at the Codex, because we got a whole bunch of Codex entries unlocked. That's just telling us how to travel the world. So, Codex. We got information on all of our characters. I wanted to look at the Carta one, because this is the first time I played a dwarf. Shar Kadash is a surface dwarf whose family was exiled from Orzammar generations ago. Shar is my character's name. Don't ask why I chose that, it's a dumb reason. For crimes known only to the record keepers and the Shaperate. Banned from their underground cities and stripped of all status in traditional society, many surface dwarves are forced to become part of the crime syndicate, known as the Carta, simply to survive. Shar was raised as part of the Kadash family, a branch of the Carta specializing in smuggling magical lyrium across Thedas, so we're a lyrium smuggler family. He moved from city to city in the Free Marches, working wherever the syndicate saw profit to be made. News of the Conclave shook up the Carta's usual operations, as its successes or failure would have tremendous impact on the demand for lyrium for years to come. Shar was one of a handful of Carta dwarves sent to spy on the proceedings at Haven. He was the only survivor of the explosion of the Temple of Sacred Ashes. Rumor that the mysterious mark on his hand is a sign in the Maker's favor were spread by those who claimed they saw the divine prophet Andraste herself lead Kadash out of the Fade. And we got information here on Cassandra from her history, letter to Lord Seeker Lucius. And I'm just going to leave these in the video for people who want to look at this video later. I'm keeping it in my archives. Pentagast invited Cullen, who has been around since the original Dragon Age Origins game. Divine Justinia 5. Not much to say about her except she's dead. Hi, Chancellor Roderick. Here's a speech that he gave, or a letter that he sent to the rest of the high the high people in the Chantry. Roderick is a jackass. Liliana, who's also been around since Dragon Age Origins. She was a bard. She's a rogue in the first game. Yeah, I don't know if she appeared in the second game. If she did, it was only briefly. Josephine Montillier's new character in Dragon Age Inquisition. An Antivan ambassador, who is also a bard, we learn later. Solus, the mage, an elven apostate. He came to the camp voluntarily and helped them out with Breach. Varric Tethras, he's been around since Dragon Age 2. He was the narrator of Dragon Age 2. Friend of the hero of Ferelden. Or not the hero of Ferelden, the hero of... whatever. The hero of Dragon Age 2, I can't remember what we call him. Kirkwall, thank you. Okay, that's it for characters. Crafting materials, we know about Elfrid so far. He also been collecting some iron, which will be useful for crafting armor and weapons. Creatures, what creatures have we run into? Mostly just demons. Pride Demon at the Temple of Sacred Ashes that attacked us after I opened the rift. Shade, that was in the previous video. Shades, which we ran into a bunch of those. And Wraiths. Those are ranged and they're a pain in the butt for tank types like my character to deal with. But we'll manage somehow. Troops. The Rebel Mages. Here's a whole bunch of information about the Rebel Mages, which this is actually their declaration of rebellion. They're just basically tired of being under the Templars' thumbs. So they decided to do their own thing. The Carta. Catholics who turned to crime eventually become part of the Carta. The hero of Ferelden decimated the ranks of this ancient gang while rallying the dwarves to join in the battle against the archdemon Orthimiel. Unable to recover the power they once had in Orzammar, they turned their attention topside, using groups of surface-dwelling dwarves to smuggle weapons, lyrium, surface luxuries, people, and other goods between Orzammar and human lands. Despite the flow of business, its members are still desperate and violent. So they're basically thugs. Except my character, he's a nice guy thug. The Templar Order. The Templars, basically, depending on how you look at it, imprison the mages or guard the mages, or keep them safe for their own good. I'm kind of neutral, and this character is going to be kind of neutral in that respect, since he really doesn't. Dwarves have no connection to the Fades, so they're non-magical in nature, but he has nothing against mages. The Templar Order End of an Accord, and this is Templars have some of the Templars have split off from the main Templar Order also, and that's the source of some of the problems in the Hinterlands, which is where we're about to head in a little bit. Lord Seeker Lambert. History. Sorry if you're not a lore hound, but I like looking at the lore. So I figured I would do the same for anyone who's interested. The Conclave, Justinia basically held the Conclave to see if she could bring peace between the Mages and Templars, since they've been at each other's throats since the events of Kirkwall, where the Templars were particularly nasty towards the Mages, and the Mages responded by one of the Mages, one of the characters in the game, blew up a building and killed a bunch of people, and so that kicked off a rebellion all over Ferelden. All over the world, actually. First Inquisition. It's a little bit of history about the First Inquisition. The First Inquisition was kind of a necessary evil because there was nobody, that was before the Templar Order, there was really nobody to fight the demons after the First Blight. Magic. Red Lyrium. nasty, corrupted stuff. The events of Dragon Age 2 hinged on red lyrium. The breach. That's a new thing. Probably there have been other breaches, maybe, in the history. I don't know. But this breach is a new thing that the bad guy and Inquisition kicked off. Places. Haven, which is where we're at right now. We're about to explore it. Haven has a history. It's where the ashes of Andraste is the bride of the Maker in the main religion of the game. She was killed by some forces and burned at the stake, and her ashes were gathered and placed in a temple in Haven. And Haven, people that lived in Haven were there to guard it, and then they kind of got corrupted, and it's a long story that it was dealt with in Origins. Temple of Sacred Ashes rediscovered. It was found during Origins by the hero of Ferelden. The keepers of the Sacred Ashes had turned into a dragon worshipping cult, and they had to be put down. And that's what all of this is talking about. This is a long one. Oh, there's another place I missed. Come on. There we go. The Hinterlands. Arl Tegan. A letter to Arl Tegan. Or Hinterlands is the home of one of the major cities in Ferelden. This must be the letter from the Horsemaster to Arl Tegan. Redcliffe City. It's where Alistair, the current king of Ferelden, was from. And tutorials, we don't need to really read any of these, I don't think. I just want to go through them so they're all unflagged. I hate having unread flags sitting there in my list. Okay. Alright, let's have a look around. Now, for starters here, I'm going to loot things, but there's some books around, and I'm not going to read them because there's an experience bonus that you can get as an Inquisition perk. And so, oh, Liliana's already back. Let's go ahead and pick up whatever we get from her. Probably something for Varric. Amulet of Power for Varric. Alright, anything else Liliana can do right now?
Interest from the capital.
You're not pleased?
I am not convinced we are prepared for the full scrutiny of Val Royeaux.
Okay, we'll have Liliana do this and we'll win Lord Kildard's favor. Maybe get some gold out of us.
Let's see what we have.
These missions take place in real time. After you quit the game, they keep going. When you come back after you haven't stopped playing, you can get a bunch of missions. Now we have an Amulet of Power for Varric. We put that on him. Oops, for Varric, not me. It'll be consumed, and he will get a point we can use to upgrade him. Okay, so what do we want to add to Varric's? That's me, that's not Varric. We want to add to Varric's abilities here. Let's stick with the archer tree for now. I want to get this explosive shot because it's a little bit AoE, and then the full draw, which is good against bosses. Oh, he has a couple of points to spend. So we'll just continue down this tree for now. And I'll just leave them in their default positions for now. I'm going to disable caltrops because I don't want him using it. I want him doing the other shots instead. Whoops. How do I disable X text setting? Okay, there we go. Let's check our other characters. They have points. I got a point for me. That's right, I leveled up and I forgot to spend my point. So I've been going down the tanking tree. This here, the Vanguard tree. I want to. What do I want to get? What do I want to head for here? I don't really need challenge. That's a single target taunt. I've got this multi-target taunt. It leads to some nice buffs, but there's I'd rather go with the weapon and shield tree and get shield bash, which is a very handy ability. So we're gonna head for that. I can use shield wall now and spend that. That's a defensive move that gains guard. Sandra's got 2 points to spend. Let's see, she's got a taunt. I want her to be two-handed. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to spend this right now. I'm going to switch her to a two-handed warrior until we get an actual two-handed warrior, since I'm the tank in the group. And I can do that by buying a respec thingy from the blacksmith. And Solus, we need him focusing on healing magic for now. So we'll do that. Dispel is handy. Oh, we gotta get to Dispel first though. And then we're gonna get Revival for him, and then fill in the rest of this tree. Doing those. And all of those are okay. Varric we already did, so we're all set there. Gotta remember to respec Cassandra. And I got my, while I was doing that, the other two missions completed. I'm gonna run out of missions here pretty quickly, but okay, he gave us a long sword. Carter gets its cut. Dasher called off his hit. Not sure why or how, so watch yourself. Could be a trick. Give us some influence, which will get us on the way to getting Inquisition perks. And we will send Josephine out to get some gold because she's the fastest.
At your service.
The other council members can be faster if you get followers for them, get agents for them, which we will be doing in the hinterlands.
The Inquisition cannot remain, Ambassador, if you can't prove it was founded on Justinia's orders.
This is an inopportune time, Marquis. More of the faithful flock here each day. But allow me to introduce you to the brave soul who risked his life to slow the magic of the breach. Master Kadash, this is the Marquis d'Aurelion, one of Divine Justinia's greatest supporters.
And the rightful owner of Haven. House d'Aurelion lent Justinia these lands for pilgrimage. This Inquisition is not a beneficiary of this arrangement.
This is the first I've heard of Haven having an owner outside the Chantry.
My wife, Lady Machin of Denerim, has claimed to Haven by ancient treaty with the monarchs of Ferelden. We were honored to lend its use to Divine Justinia. She was a woman of supreme merit. I will not let an upstart order remain on her holy grounds.
Interesting, considering the Inquisition was begun by the left and right hands of the Divine.
I've seen no written records from Sister Liliana or Seeker Penticus that Justinia approved the Inquisition.
If you won't take her at her word, I'm afraid Seeker Pentagast must challenge him to a duel.
What?
It is a matter of honor among the Navarrans. Shall I arrange the bout for tonight?
No. No. Perhaps my reaction to the Inquisition's presence was somewhat hasty.
We face a dark time, Your Grace. Divine Justinia would not want her passing to divide us. She would, in fact, trust us to forge new alliances to the benefit of all, no matter how strange they might seem.
I'll think on it, Lady Montilyet. The Inquisition might stay in the meanwhile.
Do the Durelians actually have a claim on this place?
His Grace's position is not so strong as he presents it. Despite their Ferelden relations, the Durelions are our legion. If the Marquis wishes to claim Haven, Empress Selene must negotiate with the Ferelden on his behalf. Her current concerns are a bit larger than minor property disputes.
I'm so pleased the Marquis isn't tossing us out into the cold.
His Grace is only the first of many dignitaries we must contend with.
You expect more people in Haven?
Undoubtedly. And each visitor will spread the story of the Inquisition after they depart. An ambassador should ensure the tale is as complimentary as possible.
May I ask what brought you to work for the Inquisition?
Sister Leliana approached me. We've been acquainted for quite some time. For better or worse, being the Inquisition's diplomat has become as interesting as she promised.
What sort of dealings have you had with nobility?
For some years, I was the royally appointed court ambassador from Antiva to Orlais. The nobility of Thedas is a rather singular sphere. Those I'm not acquainted with, I know through reputation.
I'm glad for your help. I have a feeling the Inquisition's going to need it.
I do believe you are correct. Thedas' politics have become agitated as of late. I hope to guide us down smoother paths. But please excuse me. I've much work to do before the day is done.
Okay, we've been introduced to Josephine. There's something to read. We're not going to do that yet because we don't have the buff. Or the experience buff for reading. And here is Researcher Manev.
You're the Herald. Or, well, the one they're calling the Herald, anyway. I hope the Inquisition can restore order soon. I never really wanted to leave the Circle. My name is Manev. I research demons and other creatures. Seeker Pentagast and I use what I find to help the soldiers fight them.
I found something the demons left behind. Can you use it?
Yes, that's very helpful. Just leave it there and the Tranquil and I will examine it. We will study that.
So these research items give us combat bonuses against the creatures that drop them. Demons, creatures, humanoids, whatever.
You've brought back some fascinating things. We're putting them to good use.
You said you were a mage?
No, just an apprentice. I was never very good at magic. I've got just enough talent to be a danger to other people. But when the mages rebelled, people like me had nowhere to go. The Templars would have killed us. Luckily, Seeker Pentagast took me in, along with the Tranquil I was protecting.
I'm surprised that even an apprentice mage wouldn't join the rebellion.
I don't like using magic to fight. I'm not good at it either. I liked studying. I liked performing rituals that helped us unlock the secrets of the Veil. I liked having the Templars around to keep us safe.
Mages need protection. I wish more of them could see that.
I was born into a Dalish clan. I lived there until my magic manifested. The Dalish cannot risk having too many mages in one clan. And I was one more than they could bear. They gave me a pack and sent me into the woods to find my own life. I was 7 years old.
No wonder you'd rather stay in the Circle. You had more than enough life outdoors.
I stumbled into a village, starving and cold, a few weeks later. I started using magic to scare predators away. The villagers saw me make fire in my fist. They were terrified and wanted to kill me. Templars saved me from them. They gave me food and clothes and took me to the Circle. I've seen what life is like without the Templars, and I want no part of it. I just want to study.
You said that you were keeping some of the Tranquils safe?
Yes. The mages took some of them when my Circle rebelled, but the rest were forgotten. Most Circle mages look down on the Tranquil, or try to pretend they don't exist. They don't have any emotions. They can barely take care of themselves, can't defend themselves at all. It's a shame. I like them better than most people.
That's an unusual statement.
They're polite. They don't bother you if they don't need something. When they study, they have a focus no normal person could ever match. But the Templars, even some of the mages, mistreated them just because they could. The Tranquil never fought back. If not for that, I don't know. Doesn't really matter now.
You said Cassandra has you researching creatures.
Yes. If you find anything interesting in your travels, I'd appreciate you bringing it to me. I may be able to find some weakness our soldiers can exploit when fighting various creatures. At the least, some materials are useful for making potions or gear for the Inquisition.
Why did you decide to research dangerous creatures?
I like the outdoors. The idea of the outdoors, anyway. When some monster is coming at you, glowing eyes and burning claws, it's terrifying. But once you know how it works, you can deal with it. It's just another part of the world. So much of this world is only frightening because we don't understand it.
I'll speak with you later.
Thank you again for what you've brought back.
Alright, let's find some goodies. Like here, loot. Another helmet. I guess that'll be good for Cassandra.
All creation, and for a time you dwelled among them, watched over them, as a gardener watches the earth for the first signs of life, or she who trusts in the Maker, fire.
The axe schematic. I think that's a one-handed axe. I'm gonna be able to build that. Got some locked doors down here that I can't open yet until I get a rogue in my party. Actually, Varric is a rogue, but he won't open them. I can ask when I get Sarah. She can open them. I can ask her to open them. And another schematic, sharp pommel. I can put on that ring. Because I don't have any rings on. Is that better than my helmet? Yes it is. I will put that one on instead. Oh, let's mark these as junk. No, not destroyed, junk. That longsword is better than what I'm using. Dwarves just don't look right with a sword, kind of like drags. Looks like it should be dragging on the ground. I'm gonna have to get him a shorter weapon. So we can go outside and gather some stuff. There's lots of resources around here, and they're handy for starting the game. You can make potions and make weapons and armor and stuff. Chest over there. The tar is something that Inari wears, so I won't be able to use that until I get Iron Bull in my party. Staff though, maybe Solus can use that staff. Yes. We need to talk to Quartermaster.
When they're ready. Piss off.
She's pleasant.
If you've got lyrium to sell, Commander Cullen is handling all purchases. Oh, you're him. Thren, Inquisition Quartermaster. I'm doing what I can to supply this mess. If you find what I need to fill one of my requisitions, I'd appreciate you bringing it in.
What do you do here?
I make sure the Inquisition troops have food in their bellies and iron in their hands. Both are important. Lots of people expecting us to be heroes, marching all day to fight the demons. Turns out heroes need to dig latrines just like everyone else.
How does someone end up as quartermaster for the Inquisition?
I served for Eldon under Ten Loghain MacTier. Best commanding officer this world has ever seen. After they all turned on him at Denerim, though, there wasn't much use for people who held that opinion. Queen Honora offered my services to the Inquisition. It was a kindness. She knew I supported her father and got me away from the political garbage.
With that attitude, I can't imagine how you made enemies in Denerim.
People just don't want to hear the truth. I was at Ostagar, and I know what really happened. King Cailan overextended his position, and the Grey Wardens were too late lighting the signal. Following the original plan would have gotten everyone killed. Ten Loghain made the right decision. I apologize. Sister Liliana told me I shouldn't talk about this. Just forget it.
What did you mean when you mentioned requisitions?
I'm making this Inquisition run with what we have, but we're not a real army. We're stretched thin on materials, so I've put up a requisition list for anything that could help our people. Here, take a look. You find some iron and a good logging site. Maybe Harrick can get our troops better weapons.
Farewell.
Make her go with you.
Okay, so now we need to find a logging stand. There's one just outside the village.
I'm used to delivering children and helping old men from winter home.
Souls can use that hat. This is another great reason to look around Haven before you head to the hinterlands, because there's lots of goodies in these chests and stuff. Scout hat can go to Varric, even though it looks ridiculous on him. Okay. Liliana's over here.
It's a little surprising to have one of you lot as the Herald of Andraste.
Blessed are the peacekeepers, the champions of the just. Blessed are the righteous, the lights in the shadow. In their blood, the Maker's will is written. Is that what you want from us? Blood? To die so that your will is done? Is death your only blessing? You speak for Andraste, no? What does the Maker's prophet have to say about all of this? What's his game?
How is this a game?
Do you see the sky? What about the temple ruins? The bones lying in the dust? Even if you didn't support the Divine's peace, you wouldn't call this right. Who could? So many innocent lives. The faithful murdered where the holiest of holies once stood. If the Maker willed this, what is it if not a game or a cruel joke?
Don't ask me. I'm as baffled as you are.
You probably don't even worship the Maker. Lucky. He asks a lot. The Chantry teaches that the Maker abandoned us. He demands repentance for our sins. He demands it all. Our lives, our deaths. Justinia gave him everything she had, and he let her die.
Maybe you should be angry at the people who murdered her?
If the Maker doesn't intervene to save the best of his servants, what good is he? I used to believe I was chosen, just as some say you are. I thought I was fulfilling his purpose for me, working with the Divine, helping people. But now she's dead. It was all for nothing. Serving the Maker meant nothing.
I'm not really the best person to talk to. Doesn't the Chantry have people for this?
So I should let a priest comfort me? No, this is my burden. I regret that I even let you see me like this. It was a moment of weakness. It won't happen again. Come. To work, then. We will speak later.
Always check behind buildings. Find goodies. Oh, the apothecary shop. I'm around the back of the apothecary shop, but it's telling me about it anyway. Anything in here? Let's go rifle through people's personal belongings. Nothing but a book. So it may seem like I'm wandering aimlessly here, but actually I'm running around gathering up quests or exploring outside the town.
We have so many injured.
We'll get them back on their feet, sister. Don't you worry.
Another schematic.
Look who's back from the dead. Again.
I don't recall meeting you before.
I'd be surprised if you did. You weren't particularly coherent. Someone had to patch you up after you staggered out of making those wear, though. So, you're welcome.
It has been a rough few days.
That's an understatement. And more ahead if the weather is any indication. Name's Adan. I'm in charge of keeping our little band here stocked with potions and elixirs. Not that Seeker Pentagast seems to care whether we've got the supplies to actually do that.
For a healer, you don't seem particularly nurturing.
I'm not a healer. I'm an alchemist who's forced to play Mother Hen. You want something to burst into flame on contact with the air? Done. Gladly. Patching up wounded soldiers is a waste of my time and talents. But there are a few around who can help.
How are your people holding up?
There's no shortage of work. That's for damn sure.
Is there anything I can do to help out?
We're fine as far as raw labor goes. You've more important things to do than tend to me. I only wish I'd been able to find Master Tajin's notes. Old bastard was working on something special. He died at the Conclave, and his notes weren't here. Been too busy dealing with the wounded to look for them.
Oh, I got a call. Hang on. Okay, I got 45 minutes before I have to go, so let's make them count. I just got a quest from this guy. Let's look at our journal. Haven. We have visited the quartermaster and the apothecary. Still need to talk to the smith. We need to visit. Oh, we need to visit a potion loadout station, which I'm about to do. Find Tajin's notes, which we'll find out outside the town. And we need to find the logging stone, which we'll also find outside the town. And the Fallowmire and the Storm Coast we will get to later. Here's the potion station. And this is just a tutorial on how to set up potions. Oops. Alright, so let's give everybody, if we have enough elf fruit. I think we have enough elf fruit to give everybody regeneration potions. Okay, we're going to need to get more elf fruit to upgrade our potions. But for now, we have fulfilled this quest here.
Just right.
Here's the upgrade station. And we're going to need 29 elf fruit to upgrade the healing potion. And 18 elf fruit and 1 royal elf fruit. We're going to have to wait till we get to the hinterlands where we can find royal elf fruit to upgrade the regeneration potions. And then the rest of these, we don't have anything yet. They're all unknown. We'll get some of those soon. Okay. That's a quest. Let's have more Solus.
The chosen of Andraste. The blessed heroes sent to save us all.
Am I riding in on a shining steed?
I would have suggested a griffon, but sadly they're extinct. Joke as you will, posturing is necessary. I've journeyed deep into the Fade in ancient ruins and battlefields to see the dreams of lost civilizations. I've watched as hosts of spirits clash to reenact the bloody past in ancient wars both famous and forgotten. Every great war has its heroes. I'm just curious what kind you'll be.
What do you mean ruins and battlefields?
Any building strong enough to withstand the rigors of time has a history. Every battlefield is steeped in death. Both attract spirits. They press against the veil, weakening the barrier between our worlds. When I dream in such places, I go deep into the Fade. I can find memories no other living being has ever seen.
You fall asleep in the middle of ancient ruins. Isn't that dangerous?
I do set wards. And if you leave food out for the giant spiders, they are usually content to live and let live.
I imagine you find some amazing things in there, alongside all the demons.
Exactly. It is occasionally dangerous, yes. But more often it's just sad to see what has been lost. The thrill of finding remnants of a 1,000-year-old dream? I would not trade it for anything. I will stay there. At least until the breach has been closed.
Was that in doubt?
I am an apostate surrounded by Chantry forces in the middle of a mage rebellion. Cassandra has been accommodating, but you understand my caution.
The giant hole in the sky trumps any other concerns. We can worry about the rest later.
Yes. Who can say what this world will look like when we are done fighting for it? But now let us hope either the mages or the Templars have the power to seal the breach.
Okay.
Are we going to have any verses in the Chant of Light now for the Herald of Andra?
Did you hear the news? Yes. Oh, Maker, you were him. You were the Herald of Andraste. And you were sent to remind us that we failed to support the dwarves when the Darkspawn attacked. I think dwarves are very respectable. And I've always liked stone. And, I mean, I'm Flissa. Can I get you a drink?
It's all right, Flissa. I won't do anything frightening.
If you wanted to close the breach, I wouldn't mind. As I said, I'm Flissa. The Inquisition soldiers needed a place to unwind, so Leliana brought me in to set up a tavern. Nothing fancy, but it's safer for the soldiers than looking for trouble in some village.
You said Liliana asked you to run an Inquisition tavern. How did you meet?
Dumb luck, maybe. I managed an inn back in Denizens. When I heard interesting gossip, I passed word to Liliana. Sometimes it was helpful. She asked if I wanted to own my own tavern, and I said yes. I didn't realize she meant this.
What can you tell me about this area?
Adan is Haven's apothecary. He's been making potions and tending to the wounded as best he can. Harrit is the Inquisition smith. Whatever he can make you, Thren the quartermaster can probably find. And for anything fancier, you can try buying from Segrit. His prices aren't too high. Yet? Oh, there's also Minave. He studies beasts and things, as I understand.
Farewell.
Goodbye.
Okay, we've done the traditional tavern visit to find out what's going on in the area. Let's finish exploring and looting stuff. Anything back here? Nothing back behind this building. Probably would with Ferric.
So, now that Cassandra's out of earshot, are you holding up all right? I mean, you go from being the most wanted criminal in Thedas to joining the armies of the faithful. Most people would have spread that out over more than one day.
None of this shit should have happened.
You don't know the half of it. For days now, we've been staring at the breach, watching demons and maker knows what fall out of it. Bad for morale would be an understatement. I still can't believe anyone was in there and lived.
If it was that bad, why did you stay? Cassandra said you were free to go.
I like to think I'm as selfish and irresponsible as the next guy, but this... Thousands of people died on that mountain. I was almost one of them. And now there's a hole in the sky. Even I can't walk away and just leave that to sort itself out.
I'm still not sure I believe that any of this is really happening.
If this is all just the Maker winding us up, I hope there's a damn good punchline coming. You might want to consider running at the first opportunity. I've written enough tragedies to recognize where this is going. Heroes are everywhere. I've seen that. But the hole in the sky... that's beyond heroes. We're going to need a miracle.
Yeah, just something to read. We don't have any bow users yet, but that might come in handy later. Varric uses his own crossbow, Bianca. Yeah, new shield. A good upgrade. And Cassandra can get the hand. Cassandra, I don't care. She's going to get a two-handed weapon. Hopefully, a nice two-handed weapon will drop. Otherwise, I'll have to buy one.
Still got demons pouring out of the rifts.
Nothing in there. Okay, here's my special shipments where I got some goodies. These are pre-order goodies. Shield, longsword, and heavy armor. And these are okay. I'll probably replace them pretty quickly, but they're nice to wear for a little bit. The armor looks kind of... well, doesn't look that great for a Dwarf Warrior, but... look at this, the shard shield that I got is already better than the shield of the dragon, so I'm going to keep using the shard shield. Even though it's ugly as hell. Here's the army of the dragon. It looks a little silly on a Dwarf Warrior. It looks more mage-like, really. But it'll do. Can Cassandra use this defender coat? Yes. Get rid of that one. And get to that one and that one. This gonna, well, nah, just gonna get rid of it. I don't need any more shield warriors. Okay, there's our new getup. The longsword, the dragon longsword, is a little better than the other one. It's not quite as long. It's Still, I would prefer an axe or a mace or something for the dwarf. It doesn't look like it's dragging on the ground. And nothing in here. Not gonna venture outside just yet. There's a little more exploring to do here.
Fix the door just like you asked, Flitter.
Ah, you're awake and out of Lady Cassandra's clutches. And here I paid that little knife ear to inform me the moment you were free. No matter, no matter. Segret, honored to meet you. Thank you for all you've done, and hopefully will still do.
What do you think I'll be doing exactly?
Word's already spreading that if anyone can close that blighted thing in the sky, it's you. Anything you need is yours. For a reasonable price, of course. Supplies are a little tight, given the circumstances.
What kind of person stays to run a shop at a time?
Expecting. Yourself included, I wager.
Until later.
Stay safe.
I'm not going to buy anything from him until I have finished looting everything. Just to make sure that I might find something for free. I don't want to go wasting money. Segret's kind of a jerk anyway. Called the elf a knife eater. It's not a nice thing to say about an elf.
I don't see why we need good siege equipment. We're not laying siege to anything.
That's an excellent point, Recruit. But if someone comes to lay siege to us, perhaps it would be best to have some means to fight back.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
Another Vitar. That's not very useful right now. It is nice that we're getting these rare herbs, though. Pointed maul. I think that might be a two-handed weapon. Or we can have Cassandra carrying around a big hammer.
Who are we fighting anyway, sir? I've heard it was mages. Demons. No one really knows.
Look. Nothing over here. There is some iron up in the hills though, so I'm going to go up there and grab that iron.
Make a watch over you.
I played through the game numerous times and exploring every little nook and cranny, and it's kind of interesting to see what you find. Like up in here,